There you are! Discovery! Really? Accept! You've got to be kidding!
What? I'm supposed to be immortal!
That's too close for comfort.
Incarnates must obey the law, just like everyone else.
Hey guys, Carl here from GameReviewsHQ.net, and today we're going to look into Rise of Incarnates. Rise of Incarnates is the PC exclusive online free-to-play, fast-paced competitive fighting game published by Bandai Namco. It was announced early 2014, which later on they had hosted a closed beta on August 2014. On February 3, 2015, the game was finally released on Steam as an early access free-to-play game. Rise of Incarnates is developed by the same staff that brought us Soul, Tekken, Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme Versus series, three of the well-known fighting games by Namco to date. So we know we're into a treat, right? So the lore of this game revolves around the Cube phenomenon, which is a catastrophic event that happened in the world. In this era, there are some people who are born as Incarnates, a human with extraordinary abilities. Simply put, these humans, the Incarnates, can be able to commune with the legendary creatures and use their power, transform into them, which is freaking cool. I am not going to tell the whole story or background of the game, as it is not yet finished, especially if the game itself doesn't have a story mode. However, you can read it on their site. It is really an interesting piece of work. There is also a comic book that is made by Marvel, so that is awesome. I think it's volume 8 so far, so go check that out on their site. It is a good read. So let us check the main menu of the game. The UI is very similar to some massive multiplayer online competitive games. So let's check the tabs one by one. The first tab is Today. Basically, those are the news and sports stuff if you encounter a bug. Second one is the store. Don't bother here unless you're going to buy in real cash, because the game does not let you buy using in-game currency except the skill cubes. But this is really a terrible practice, and being free to play, this is not an excuse for not letting us buy the items with in-game cash. Stupid decision. You should have known better, Namco. The third one is the Customize. Here you can customize your character, aesthetics. Sometimes when you do a rank match, you can get some items, you use it here. Those are rare occasions though. In the Customize, you can also see here the skill grid, in which is like a power up. Right now I can only put 2 since it costs a lot to increase the grid. These are really helpful in the battle because they increase your chance of winning. However, skill cubes are not infinite, they have limited uses, so you have to replenish them by sacrificing a skill cube that you do not need. You can also enhance skill cubes with the same mechanic as replenishing it. The first tab on the right is Rankings. It is self-explanatory what it shows. The next is the Library. This is where you can see the lore, characters, stages, and other stuff. If you want to know more about the game, you can take time here when taking a break. The last one on the right is the Circle. Well, this is like a guild of some sort. If you have a circle, then you can ask them to play with you. Lastly, the one on the middle is the Play. This is where you find matches. You can search for rank match, create yourself a lobby, or just fight bots. You can also do some tutorial if you still don't get a hold of the gameplay mechanics. The game only features 2v2 battles, so a solo rank match searches you an enemy and a partner, while the team rank match is basically searching for another team to play too, given that you already have a team. There's a huge problem about this though. Searching for matches takes 10 minutes up to several hours. There are 2 factors that may be the reason for this. 1, the game does not have enough player base, hence searching is hard and takes time. 2, the servers are that bad on matchmaking. Player base is still small, and it actually takes me 20 minutes to 30 minutes to find a game, and guess what? When I get to play, my teammate or enemy is the same enemy I have encountered several minutes ago. This emphasizes that there are no other players than us online in the game. This does not go well, especially at launch, since it's plagued by disconnecting schemes. It's hard to get by even at the menu. Thankfully, it was patched recently and there are less crashes from the servers. Still, searching for a match is a chore. There are 8 characters to choose from right now, but there will be a lot more soon. Each have their own moveset and skills, so it's good to have variety there. When you are just getting started, you can play all of them, but after some time you can only pick one character and the rest will be interchanging every week, though you can buy them with real cash to be permanent. Currently, there are 3 maps to be played here: New York, Paris, and London, so it is quite disappointing and it may get boring after a while. Hopefully they add more maps sooner. The map sizes are adequate, not too small to feel like you're cramping, but not too huge to hinder the enjoyment of the action. Map designs are well made and it really represents the post-apocalyptic feel, which is a good thing, and some maps have this destructible physics, which is a huge plus. I just wish that there are a lot more happening on the background because it just felt empty in the midst of the fighting. The UI when you are in battle looks pretty clean and it does not hinder me when playing. At the top left is the stock pools of both teams. Basically, the whole concept of the game is the first one to have their stock pool emptied are the losers, so it really is basic. The stock pool is basically times you can revive, though each of you have their own stacks and these differ from one character to another. At the top right is your radar. Well, this is self-explanatory, so let's move on. At the bottom right is your skill gauges. These basically limit you to spam movement, so it's a great addition for balancing the game. Lastly, the bottom left is your health and your stack life. There's also a gauge there. When it is full, you can do your character's ultimate ability, again unique for each character, so it really adds variety to the game. The character models are really detailed and I love it a lot since you can see right off the bat how different they are, especially if they transform into the legendary creature that they are, which looks freaking awesome. Animation for combos and simple movements are all fluent, it feels real and natural, there's feedback when you hit the enemy, so it's really a good thing. Now the gameplay, like I said, it's only at 2v2, so teamwork is a must, though as a fast-paced game, I doubt you can even make a strategy because unless you know the guy or you're talking to him through Skype, there's no way to communicate but through voice over IP, whether it's on Steam or not. Skill sets for characters are all unique. You have range and melee type of combat which can be associated with your movements. There are also special abilities for each character which deals a lot more damage, and this can also be associated with your combos. So yeah, a lot of variety to fight your enemies. Also, you can do the awakening or the ultimate ability of your character which is excessively overpowered once your enemy got hit. You can also jump and dash to avoid projectiles and sometimes melee attacks. There's also a tag combo in which if you successfully launch your enemies in the air, your partner can easily trigger the tag combo and hit him for more damage. Though this is a very hard task to do, especially if your enemy's partner is not down. I highly suggest to play with a controller as this game's optimized for that. Though a keyboard has decent key bindings, the game is best suited for a controller. The game has challenging, fun, enjoyable, intense gameplay, though I wish they could add more variety of game modes like challenges, 1v1, or even a story mode, even if it's not possible as the game updates over time. The sound is also upbeating and it really fits well for the pace of the game. It's of high quality to be expected from Bandai Namco. This also goes the same for the voice acting of the characters, all are good.
Fall asleep on me yet? Well, that was rather impressive.
Before I end this video, what are the pros and cons of Rise Incarnates? The pros are it has enjoyable and fun gameplay, its fast-paced gameplay really delivers to my expectation, especially since it's a 2v2 battle. Battles are overall intense and exciting, there are no boring parts, so get hyped when playing this game. All of the characters are unique and has their own skill sets and ultimate abilities, which makes the game unique and not generic. Maps designs are detailed and it really catches the post-apocalyptic feel. It also has destructive physics on some maps, which is a huge plus. The soundtrack is awesome, it really gives you the excitement while in-game. Voice acting of the characters are decent. The story is also a good read, it's interesting. Plus there's a comic book made by Marvel and it is free, so go check that out. Enjoyable the game it seems, there are also cons here, and there's a lot. First, Rise of Incarnates has a small player base as of now. Given that the game is still on early access, that may be one of the reasons, but the other reasons are probably the bad server. It's so hard to find a match here, even if you do, sometimes you're going to get disconnected after a while and the cycle repeats itself over and over. Lack of game modes, I don't really like that there are no other game modes here because there's a lot of potential to improve on the game modes. Currently there are 3 maps here, so it may get repetitive if you're going to play for long, but they promise to add more, so I'd give the benefit of the doubt. The worst con is the microtransaction. Almost nothing can be bought using in-game currency. The only thing I know that can be bought using in-game currency are skill cubes, and even those are expensive. Especially if you're going to add grids to improve your skills, just no. Each character costs $10 or so that's really a bad thing, especially if more characters pop out, you can use them permanently. Rise of Incarnates at this state is a decent game with intense and enjoyable gameplay, but the bad servers, small player base, and microtransactions can be frustrating for most players, so right now I would not really recommend for you to play it unless they patch the game and improve their servers. But I tell you, this game has so much potential to be great as time passes, so if you can bear with it, then I will recommend you this game. It is so much fun and exciting once you get past the matchmaking. So this is my review of Rise Incarnates. I am Carl, signing off.
That was a pain in the ass. Time for the next one.